In a world filled with mages, monsters, and miracles, Frieren Beyond Journey's End sets itself apart by anchoring its magic system in a principle rarely seen in other fantasy settings: understanding. Magic in Frieren's world isn't just about chanting incantations or having raw power. It's about study, discipline, mastery, and most importantly, knowledge. The main scene, when Frieren and the gang are abducted by a carnivorous bird. Stark asks them, why don't we just kill the bird and you guys can use flying magic to bring the cart down back to the ground safely? And Frieren responds by saying, because we don't understand flying magic enough to be able to expand it or use it as we want to. It was copied, reverse engineered from the demon race. Therefore, we don't understand the principle behind true flight. And therefore, we can't change it. This scene was brief, but it explained how Frieren's magic system truly works. In Frieren's world, magic, or the principle behind magic, is simple. You can't cast a spell if you don't understand the spell or the phenomenon behind it. A mage can't merely wish something into existence, they must grasp how and why it works. This makes every spell a product of intellectual effort, not just magical ability. You want to use teleportation? You better have a deep understanding of geography, topography, and the precise coordinates of your destination. A vague idea or a mental image isn't enough. You must understand spatial dimensions, distance, and the physics of movement, or risk failure or disaster. You want to conjure fire? It's not as simple as yelling fireball. You need to know the chemical properties of combustion. That includes the presence of oxygen and the ignition point of various materials. How to control the heat so it doesn't spiral out of control and hurt your allies. This is why, even though humans have access to flight spells, they can't modify them. The current flight spell was reverse engineered from the demon race, copied without true comprehension. It's like replicating an airplane, for example, without understanding how engines and aerodynamics work. You can use it, sure, but you can't innovate, expand, or adapt it. The magic system in Frieren mirrors real-world science. Just like a scientist must conduct experiments, gather data, and understand principles before creating new technology, mages must deeply study the world around them before creating new spells. In this way, the magic system rewards those with curiosity, dedication, and a love for learning, not just natural talent. Here are some hypothetical examples that push this concept even further. Weather control magic. A mage hoping to manipulate the weather would need to study meteorology. They must understand atmospheric pressure, temperature gradients, wind patterns, and cloud formations. Without that knowledge, they risk creating storms they can't control, or worse, destroying entire ecosystems. Healing magic. To truly heal, a mage must understand human anatomy, physiology, and cellular regeneration. A spell that just heals broadly might close wounds but ignore internal bleeding or organ damage, leading to fatal mistakes. Illusion magic. Creating convincing illusions would require understanding psychology and optics. A mage must know how the human brain interprets light, motion, and color to craft illusions that fool the senses. So I hope you're all beginning to comprehend how goated Frieren is. How vast of an understanding do you need to have on gravity, matter, mass, and weight for you to be able to use a spell that replicates a black hole? Think of it like this: if you were to send any modern scientist into the Frieren world, they would absolutely freaking dominate. And that's why I love this magic system. I don't hate another magic systems, you know. I'm okay with the usual fireball, just scream your power levels and just scream and throw fireballs everywhere. That's fine. But this to me is so much more entertaining, so much more cool, so much more refined, as I would say. The only power system that I would say is above this one is the Nen power system from Hunter x Hunter, and I'm also quite fond of the Fullmetal Alchemist power system, the alchemy from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. But yeah, before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel so I can reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Let's continue. This makes Frieren's world feel more grounded, more respectful of the intelligence required to master magic. There are no shortcuts, no instant power-ups. Just years of practice, reading, observation, and testing. Mages in this world are more akin to researchers than warriors. Their libraries are as important to them as their battlefields. Now, me personally, I suck at maths. I suck at physics, so I know for a fact that if I was in Frieren universe, I would not be a mage. I would try, genuinely, I would try, but I just not be a mage. Honestly, I'm gonna pick up an axe or a sword. As long as I can do this. I'll be quite pleased with myself. Of course, there are some exceptions to this because some magic in Frieren doesn't really make sense. The one character, Uber, has the power to she has two powers. Once she sympathizes with someone, she can copy their magic, and the second power is that she can cut anything she can imagine herself cutting. So if she can realistically imagine a scissor cutting a rock, it will cut. If she can imagine a scissor cutting a cloth, even if your cloth is made from the cloth of the blood of Zeus or freaking blessed by Odin, she'll cut it because realistically speaking, scissor beats fabric, scissor beats cloth. So powers like those, her powers specifically, I can't even begin to comprehend what the hell the magic or the science behind them would even be. She is a wild card, let's just say that. In my conclusion, by making knowledge the core of spellcasting, Frieren Beyond Journey's End offers one of the most intelligent and rewarding magic systems in anime. It's a world where magic has a price, not just of mana and blood, but of learning, and where the most powerful spell a mage can wield is understanding.